Alright, Welker, take your bite. Good bite, Welker. Good bite. People are unsure of how speech therapy fits into feeding. Most people think speech therapists work on sounds or language or social skills, and so feeding is very confusing to people. But anything really that does with the mouth, swallowing, all of that, we are trained on. Alright, should we get some more on there? Yeah, okay. Welker, take your bite. Good bite, Welker. Here, it's for you. I worked in
Welker, take your bite.
NICU for a while, and so those are babies that are
Yay.
premature.
You might like
so we
watermelon.
work on their suck,
Oh,
swallow,
I
feed
see.
sequence.
Where's
Babies have
Welker?
difficulty with that, and so we work on pacing techniques. And so then after they move from the NICU setting, then we work on bottle feeding, breastfeeding, then move to spoon feeding and different types of spoons to use, then straw cups, meltable solids, then table foods. And so there's a whole sequence that we follow along with our kiddos. And along the way, some of our kids have trouble one way or the other with feeding, whether it's difficulty transitioning from, let's say, a liquid to a puree or a puree to a solid. So sometimes the sensory information is a little too much for them and they refuse. Today was a day that we introduced watermelon. For the first time, Welker had never had watermelon before. And so I typically I don't hide the food, but I don't put the food right in plain sight. I kind of keep it hidden just a little bit. But we work on slow presentation of the food so that it's not overwhelming. So that there's not a fear factor of, this lady's going to make me eat that huge bite of watermelon. No way. They would shut down immediately. So I get a fork, I dab the fork inside the watermelon so that there's just a little bit of flavor on it. And then I say, Welker, take your bite. Give it to his mouth. He takes his bite. Then I reward him. Today his reward was a monster truck, I think, that he brought from home. And so that was good. So I did it a couple of times. No problem. I'm like, okay, we're doing good. Let's go to the next step. So the next step for him was a taste, a bigger taste. So I cut off a teeny tiny sliver. And again, Welker, take your bite. That's the cue that I give. He did fine. So then I'm like, okay, we're gonna flip it so that he can become an independent feeder. Again, cut it off to the side, handed him the fork. He put the fork into his mouth, took the bite, chewed, swallowed. I gave him his reward. We did that for a few times, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for the gusto. I'm gonna put the piece of watermelon on his tray. So put the piece of watermelon on his tray, and then he saw me cut it. So he was able to know that she's not going to make me have this big piece, that she's going to cut it for me, and then I'm going to use my fork and stab it, which is so fun for the kids, and then take his bite, and that's what happened. So today was a huge success. Watermelon. Well, do you like watermelon? No? Oh, it's yummy. He is eating, I would say, pretty similar to a typical toddler diet. And I can attribute the majority of it to his parents. His mom is such an advocate for him. Help. Whoa! Explain more that mealtime for families and for everybody is a time to connect. However, if you have a child that is refusing to eat, it's not a time to connect, it's a time of misery. And so our goal here is to be able to equip our kids to be able to enjoy mealtime so that they can connect with their families during meal times, and then not be a time of misery, but be a time of pleasure, be a time of connection, which we all hope and want for our families. Zoom, zoom, tap, tap, taste. Zoom,